The News 4 Rundown starts now.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Jim Adley. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following for you tonight. New this evening, the growing fears of mass deportation of Haitians living in the U.S., the new policy change from DHS, and the concern about the state of Haiti. Plus, a high-ranking member of the Prince George's County Sheriff's Office is on administrative leave tonight, pending an investigation after the I-Team asked questions about some of her social media posts. And then let the music play. After a decade of silence at the Carter Barron Amphitheater in Rock Creek Park, why things are about to change. First tonight, a heads up for D.C. families. Hackers may have gained access to your children's information after a D.C. public schools data breach. And we learned today that breach may have been even bigger than initially thought. Our Amy Cho is working for you tonight with tips to keep your family's information safe.
As D.C. students prepare for the start of the school year, it comes as hackers could have accessed potentially thousands of students' information. Name, student ID number, date of birth, school and grade level, parent name, home address, and phone number. Today, we asked DCPS how this happened. They said they're still not sure and that federal law enforcement are investigating.
We will know more with the investigation once we get more information.
So no sense yet of who is behind this?
Correct.
DCPS says the hack involved a website that stores student data from 55 schools, mainly elementary, with after-school programs run by DCPS. The site also stores data from students in the summer programs.
DCPS tells me it's now removed all of the students' personal information from that website as they decide whether they want to keep using the website moving forward. In the meantime, they're asking families to be on the lookout for any suspicious phone calls, texts, or emails where hackers are trying to get more personal information from them.
So another thing to do is you can create and use strong passwords. That's something that a lot of folks just take for granted.
Tony Monell works at the cybersecurity firm Black Kite. He's not part of the DCPS investigation, but says he's noticed a hacker group on the dark web claiming responsibility for the breach. Monell says oftentimes hackers will either try to sell the information or demand a ransom.
Ransomware groups oftentimes don't target public schools because they're easy. They target them because they're essentials.
DCPS says so far there's been no sign of the leaked information being used improperly. Now, as for other ways to keep your digital footprint safe,
use multi-factor authentication whenever possible. That may be a little bit of a pain for some folks, but hackers hate that.
An extra step to ensure safety with the new school year now right around the corner. Amy Cho, News 4.
The search for a missing swimmer in the Potomac has come to a tragic end. Montgomery County Fire Rescue says its swiftwater rescue team found the body of the 25-year-old man this morning. Crews used sonar and underwater cameras to locate him beneath the surface, not far from where he disappeared Monday afternoon near Sandy Landing. D.C. police are searching for the gunman involved in a deadly drive-by shooting. Officers responded to the area here of 5th and N Streets Northwest yesterday afternoon, where they found two men who'd been shot. 29-year-old Keon Maynard died. The second victim remains in critical condition. Police say the shooting happened in a neighborhood plagued by what they believe is a cycle of retaliatory violence between at least two groups. New details in the shooting involving the son of Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Today, a judge granted Elijah Bieniemy's request for a competency evaluation after his attorney withdrew a separate request for a mental health evaluation. The 27-year-old is accused of shooting his mother multiple times Sunday inside the family's Loudoun County home. Maryland's providing expedited admissions to first-year students who were unenrolled at Howard because of tuition problems. Governor Wes Moore says the state is also providing an $800 credit to offset enrollment fees. The benefits are for those looking to enroll in a state school. In a story you'll see only first on 4, a senior member of the Prince George's County Sheriff's Office has been placed on administrative leave tonight after an investigation by the News 4 I-Team. The discipline comes one day after News 4 asked questions about a recent social media post by the sheriff's chief of staff that appeared to disparage a deputy who's also the union president in the office. Investigative reporter Tracy Wilkins joins us with the latest.
In our investigation, we reached out to the chief of staff, who admits she made these social media posts about one of their own deputies. Now she's on administrative leave pending investigation, and the deputy is speaking exclusively to News 4 about why he says these social media posts are so concerning for him and the union members he represents. How long have you been with the sheriff's office?
20 years.
In his 2 decades as a Prince George's County deputy, Lieutenant and Union President Gary Yancey says he's never experienced this.
I was notified that my likeness was used in looks like a ChatGPT AI created photo, that I'm angry with an axe to grind. And that was posted on the chief of staff's personal social media page by her.
He's talking about this. An image, he says, was shared by Tracy Brown, the chief of staff to the Prince George's County Sheriff, on Brown's personal Facebook page. An image he says is a public act of retaliation for his work as union president.
I'm speaking on that because I have to.
He believes the problems began over politics. In 2022, his members supported Sheriff John Carr in his first election.
We door knocked for Sheriff Carr's first campaign every weekend.
But in this past primary, the union changed course, opposing Carr, and instead supporting competitor Ron Oliver. Carr won. Then weeks later, the Baltimore Banner published an investigation critical of the sheriff's office. Yancey was quoted in the story in his capacity as union president.
I did not say anything disparaging about Sheriff Carr. All I did was agree or disagree, confirm what was being said. None of that was false.
One day after the article was published, Yancey says someone sent the screenshots from the chief of staff's personal social media page. In a post on Facebook, Chief of Staff Brown did not name Yancey but spoke about karma, writing, "When you are unhappy, you have options. Choose the one marked exit." In the comments, she then posted what appears to be an AI-generated photo of Yancey.
What does that feel like?
Oh, it doesn't feel good.
By phone, Brown declined an on-camera interview, but admitted to posting the image and words, emphasizing it was her personal page and not a county page. She said she wasn't the person who created the image of Yancey. Brown's a civilian employee. She also told News 4 she does not work directly with deputies and primarily is a grant writer. That's something Yancey disputes. According to the office's website, Brown is described as a trusted advisor to the sheriff who mediates disputes and resolves issues before they escalate to the sheriff. Yancey says deputies often communicate with her.
Essentially, instead of going to the sheriff with a problem, I'm supposed to be able to go to the chief of staff.
Now Yancey says he's filed an internal affairs complaint against Brown. In a statement, the Prince George's County Sheriff's Office said they are reviewing the alleged post and comment thread in question as part of an internal process.
Even though the person I'm dealing with is not a sworn law enforcement officer, they're still part of the management team. They are responsible to be professional in everything that they do.
Yancey says he's speaking to us because he sees this act as a larger attack on unions like his.
This is not a personal axe to grind. This is just my members demand professionalism and respect.
In a statement, Sheriff John Carr said, in part, the reputation of this office and how we treat one another matters to me, whether that's face-to-face or on a screen. I expect a high standard of professionalism from command staff and every deputy. Placing Chief of Staff Brown on leave allows Internal Affairs to conduct a full and fair review. It is not a determination of what occurred.
Now to growing fear of mass deportations as President Trump works to tighten immigration. Yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security signaled its intentions to end the temporary protected status for 335,000 people from Haiti, Yemen, and Syria. These are people who have been living and working in the U.S. for years as their countries deal with natural and political turmoil. DHS issued this memo telling employers the work authorization for TPS holders from these three countries are no longer valid, and that move comes amid active court orders preventing the federal government from terminating TPS and its work authorization early. Today we spoke with the International Rescue Committee. It's a group that advocates for refugees here in the U.S. and across the world. They warned that conditions in Haiti have not improved for people to return.
Given the termination of temporary protected status for Haitians, we have, grave concerns around mass returns to Haiti. The International Rescue Committee has a program in Haiti, and for the last 2 years, Haiti is ranked among the top 10 countries in the world on our watch list for the worst humanitarian crises. About half the country doesn't have enough to eat on a regular basis, and we're seeing escalating violence in the capital and in other parts of the country. So it is very concerning to see not just the U.S. but other countries as well pushing Haitians to return when the conditions don't really allow for a safe environment for people to return to.
Yesterday, the group released a new report saying the refugee situation around the world is facing its serious test, with wealthy communities and governments curtailing humanitarian funding. They fear the months ahead could be dire for people in search of permanent homes.
This has been a difficult year for refugees and for organizations that try to work to protect the rights of refugees, and this coming year is going to be, I think, equally difficult. We've seen a number of countries around the world slash the number of resettlement spots for refugees. And then the other really big challenges in those countries that are hosting the vast majority of refugees, with aid budget slashed, direct assistance to those refugees is going down.
The group is asking governments to support a fair and faster asylum system, clear the pathway to permanent residency for refugees, and improve collaboration with other countries to address the growing humanitarian crisis. Still to come tonight on the News 4 Rundown, the new developments surrounding new public transportation around the RFK Stadium, plus the new life coming to the Carter Barron Amphitheater in Rock Creek Park after a decade of silence. Doug?
And we did see a great day across the area today. Some cloud cover to end the day, but tomorrow a lot more sunshine and a little bit warmer too. I'll track that for you, plus tracking the weekend storm chances as well. We'll see you for the 10-day forecast in minutes.
NBC4 and Telemundo 44 always sharing ways local groups are fighting food insecurity. It's why our Food for Families campaign is a year-round effort. Tomorrow, our Millette Green will be live at the Capital Area Food Bank. Volunteers will be packing food in Northeast D.C. You can watch her live reports all morning on NBC4. And if you'd like to help us fight hunger, scan that QR code on your screen. Every donation goes toward nonprofits that feed our community. For more than 60 years, the Carter Barron Amphitheater in Rock Creek Park hosted everything from Shakespeare productions to Bruce Springsteen. But maintenance issues forced the iconic outdoor venue to close its doors, leaving it silent for the past decade. Now that's all about to change. Our Mark Seagrave shows us that while the amphitheater stage is still considered unsafe, live music is returning to Carter Barron for 3 special nights this summer.
This one's for everyone in the DMV. Come on down, we're at the Carter Barron, y'all.
It's been more than 10 years since Silver Logan Sharp or anyone has performed at Carter Barron.
Secrets stolen.
Woo, the last time I sit on this stage, it was a minute ago. But here we are, and I am so excited to be a part of the Carter Barron making any sort of comeback. It's amazing.
Since the curtain first pulled back in 1950, the stage at Carter Barron hosted superstars including Ella Fitzgerald, Bruce Springsteen, Roberta Flack, the National Symphony Orchestra, and the godfather of go-go, Chuck Brown. Carter Barron was also the home to Shakespeare in the Park for years. But in 2017, the stage that had held so many great performers was deemed unsafe, and Carter Barron closed. Sharp is one of the artists scheduled for 3 nights of concerts at Carter Barron next month, the first concerts in a decade. Like so many who remember this incredible venue, Sharp knows what Carter Barron meant to D.C. and the region.
It was the inclusiveness. It was about having so many different types of music here that everyone could enjoy. Carter Barron was the melting pot of music in D.C., especially during the summer months. I miss it so much.
The concerts are being produced by the Rock Creek Conservancy that's been working to bring Carter Barron back to life for years.
We already know there's palpable excitement about this place, but nobody's really been able to see it up close for a while. It's not in the state it was back in 2016, the last year it had a full season of performances. But this space, if you sit here, you know how powerful it is.
And while live music is coming back to this historic venue, the artist won't be on the original stage. It's still not safe to set up here. So organizers are going to set up a temporary stage right here over the first few rows of seats. And while the venue can hold more than 4,000 people, they're going to limit the audience to about 400 for these shows.
I have to say, the National Park Service has been incredible in their desire to open the gates once again. We've been able to work with them to come up with something a little novel.
There are plans to rebuild the stage with a roof, but we're years away from that. So these shows will be more like pop-up concerts. And there will be no concessions, but you can bring a small cooler, but no glass containers and no alcohol. And there's no plumbing inside, so porta potties it is. The Conservancy is hoping we won't have to wait another 10 years for concerts at Carter Barron.
I'm hopeful that we are on the cusp of being able to bring this place back, to truly reopen it as it is meant to be. I hope this means we can bring more than just the music back, but all of the arts back to Carter Barron.
Whatever it takes to get this back up and going, to get the neighborhoods back together, to get the camaraderie that we had. Music still is the universal language that will never change, no matter where you're from, what you look like. And Carter Barron represented that, and I'm just happy to bring it back.
From the historic Carter Barron Amphitheater in Rock Creek Park, where live music is set to return next month. Mark Seagraves, News 4.
It's exciting. The Summer in the Park concert series runs August 20th through the 22nd. In addition to Silver Logan Sharp, performers include the DC Jazz All-Stars and Black Alley. Tickets are $15. They're available on the Rock Creek Conservancy's website.
Oh, we saw a beautiful day across the area. Sunshine first. And then we saw the clouds develop during the afternoon, and that actually helped to bring temperatures down during the afternoon. We hit a high temperature early in the day of 86, but by around 5 or 6 o'clock, it was only in the upper 70s to low 80s. Gorgeous out there. Right now, we're sitting in the low 80s, 81 degrees in the city. Winds out of the north-northwest still at 14. We saw some gusts up to 25, but now just seeing some breezy conditions across the area. And look at the 70s. 77 Gaithersburg, 79 in Frederick, 79 Baltimore. So a really nice night. Even with the cloud cover, it feels really nice if you're out and about thinking about getting some late dinner outside or maybe take a little walk this evening. Looking good. Nothing on the radar picture, even though we have the cloud cover. We don't have any rain to come with it. We have some showers up there towards New York and Philadelphia. You see the clouds working their way in from the north. This is all around that big storm that's spinning to the north that actually came through our area Tuesday with that severe weather. It moved up to New England, gave them a ton of rain, and now it's working its way back and eventually out of the area. What does that mean for us? Well, it doesn't mean anything as far as rain is concerned. I don't expect more rain, but the good thing is we've gotten some rain. And look at the latest drought monitor. Most of us right now in what's called a moderate drought, down from last week where most of southern Maryland was in a severe drought. Now you still have severe drought in Frederick and Hagerstown, north of Baltimore and areas to the south. But once again, most of the region now in just a moderate drought, and I expect the drought to continue to get better as we make our way in towards next week. Tomorrow, a fantastic Friday ahead. Yeah, I've got temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90, so it is going to be on the warm side, but I'm not expecting a lot of humidity. Starting off on a really nice note, too. You'll notice that when you step out the front door. Saturday, 91, a little hotter, but still not too humid. Humidity builds in on Sunday. Sunday will be hot and humid. 88, heat index into the low 90s. Good chance for potentially severe storms on Sunday, then leading into some shower activity on Monday. And we've got a chance of showers for much of next week, but I'm not talking about any real washouts. The one day we're looking at a lot of cloud cover, though, probably Monday. The rest of the week looking pretty good.
Metro signed 2 reimbursement agreements related to Commander Stadium projects. D.C. and Metro have agreed to several items. First, to a $300 million expansion of the stadium armor station. Second, to the initial planning for the Gold Line Rapid Transit bus line. That line would run from Union Station to the new RFK station. The stadium is set to open in 2030. Speaking of the Commanders, one noticeable difference at their training camp this year is Terry McLaurin. The difference, he's there and practicing. With last year's contract dispute in the rear view, the star receiver has his focus on helping Washington rebound after that rough 2025. Team insider JP Finley has our story from Ashburn.
Day 2 of Commanders training camp is in the books, and one thing you notice as you watch these practices, 17 flashing all over the field. Remember, it was only a year ago that Terry McLaurin, the star wide receiver, was stuck in a really ugly contract holdout. This year, no contract stuff. Having Terry at camp is certainly good for Terry. It's certainly good for Jaden, especially as they're navigating this new offense. But number 17's presence is also key for the team's young receivers.
Since I've been here and got more years under my belt, I've tried to always bring young guys under my wing. So great thing about it is I've been fortunate to have young guys who are curious. And so I'm an open book because I remember being a young guy and being very curious, and I was fortunate to have really good vets. So I just know the importance of passing that information.
I remember last year being an undrafted free agent and coming in and kind of just not knowing the ins and outs of how everything's going to go, how the vets and stuff is going to treat you. And I can remember, I think it was our first or second practice out. And I went up to T and I was like, hey, when you run this route, because I think it was an out and up or something like that. I was like, what do you do? But we kind of didn't have time to discuss it. And so, go on, the whole day is gone, and I'm literally leaving out the bubble, out the facility. And Terry, I hear him call my name, and he's like, yo, Jacoby. And I turn around, I was like, wow, he's running to me, and he comes up to me and he's explaining, the details and stuff like that. And just, that moment there showed me, true, the character that he possesses, because he didn't have to come run me down, a guy that a lot of people would kind of deem irrelevant. So, it's too many things I could say. I'd be talking all day if I had to speak on him. But he's a great leader, a great guy, man, and we all love Terry.
And who's one young receiver that's really impressing Terry McLaurin? That would be 3rd-round pick Antonio Williams.
He has a good feel for the receiver position, and I think he has a chance to really help us, especially in Blau's offense where guys will be able to move around. He's just done everything that we've asked him to do. He's on snack duty, so he better have them snacks this afternoon. But he's a great guy, man.
I hope the rookie knows exactly what he's doing, bringing snacks for those veterans. Couple of injury notes, not great news. Starting center Nick Allegretti dealing with a bit of a calf strain. He missed Thursday's practice. And wide receiver Traylon Burks, a little bit of foot soreness. He missed Thursday's practice. We'll see if either of those guys are back out on the field Saturday when the fans are here for practice. But the thing I can't escape my mind, Traylon Burks has a long injury history. You sure like to see him have a healthy training camp. Covering the Commanders in Ashburn, I'm JP Finley.
Fan Day should be a lot of fun this year. Some Prince George's County students are ready to shine when they head back to school this fall. It's all thanks to some help from the community. This morning, News 4 stopped by the District 8 math camp at Bowie State. The program pairs middle schoolers with high school and college students. The goal of the 4-week program is to build confidence in younger students and give older students a chance to give back.
It's really refreshing because there is a sense of community and you get to build the connections with the students. And when you have this near-peer tutoring aspect, it's like the students are, excited to learn. They're not afraid to go up to the board and answer questions. So it's really refreshing to see.
Refreshing indeed. Love that. Prince George's County Council member Edward Burrows helped launch this program. The District 8 Math Camp wraps up next week. And that's going to do it for the News 4 Rundown on this Thursday night. Be sure to join us right back here for News 4 at 11 tonight for all the latest news, weather, sports too. For now, I'm Jim Adley. Have a great night, everybody.